to male nurses are boring. Then they called in a sexy girl. Seeing his body so perfect and plump, she immediately wanted to have sex, but did not expect the girl suddenly said.
스타킹 올라갔네.
She lifted up her long legs, slowly took off the black stockings on his legs, and the man could not control his desire. The desire in his eyes is coming out. Jack spoke up first. How about a game of teens? The loser has to obey unconditionally. The game hadn't even started yet. The two of them had already begun to fantasize, but the girl thinks it's unfair to play two men against one woman. This game is not fair. Jack tried to persuade her. Then the girl agreed. So he brought out a lead cylinder, and the girl drew one first. Although they both had their own plans, they lost the first round. The girl, as Ken, ordered John to text all the girls on his cell phone, but John had a hard time with it, so he refused. The atmosphere became awkward. The girl then grabbed a glass of wine to lighten the mood and said she'd drink it all. You can't drink as much as you like. After a glass of wine into the stomach, the girl went to the bathroom to make up. Unexpectedly, the door was suddenly open. Jack took the opportunity to embrace the girl. But as soon as he finished speaking, Ruth heard a noise from outside the door. She came out to check just in case, but there was no one in the living room. Jack suddenly realized something. He immediately turned around and headed upstairs. When he opened the door, the medical equipment on the floor, Jack's face instantly changed. He immediately picked up the infusion bag on the floor and then went down the stairs to look for. The girl didn't know what was going on, so she followed Jack. But just then, the lights suddenly went out. The whole house went dark before they could react. But the next moment, luckily, John appeared just in time. That saved the girl's life, but both of them were scared out of their wits. They didn't know what was going on. To make sure the man was still alive, John tried to get close enough to check, but then Ruth stood still and wondered what she was thinking. John was about to be killed. Jack pulled the man away from him and then stuck him in a chokehold until the man's legs did not move. Jack let go, but what the hell is going on here? They killed the man with their own hands. Ruth realized the gravity of the situation, so she made an excuse to leave. She was stopped by the two men. They had no choice. But to carry the man upstairs. They covered him with a blanket. Ruth discovered that there was a camera in the eye of the tube hanging on the wall, which meant that the whole process of killing the man was captured on camera. It turns out that the man's name is Senator Lee. He owns 100 luxury villas. He was one of Korea's top tycoons. He's dead, but he's actually a vampire. This is what happened to Assemblyman Lee. It's all because his twin brother. He imprisoned him here to get his property. When he found out the congressman had been killed, he had his men checking out right away. Will pulled a long sword out of his car, and in a very atmospheric manner, he headed for the house. They were trying to stay alive. They had to tell him what happened, but as soon as they finished, there was another commotion upstairs. With a click, the congressman was lying in a pool of blood. That's good. All four are in the same boat. How do we get rid of the proof of the crime? The only way is to fake the congressman's suicide and create an alibi. Will told Ruth and the others to wait for him. He'll arrange for an expert to take care of it. As soon as he's done, he'll let them go. And then he drove off in his car. In fact, there's a valuable diamond hidden in this house. Jack told Ruth the secret and told him to take John and leave while he searched for the diamond. So Ruth took advantage of John washing his face while John was washing his face and told him he was very cute. John was very happy with the compliments and wondered if his breasts were real. In order to stall for time, Ruth agreed to his curiosity and fulfilled his request for sex. After a minute, the two of them calmly came out of the restroom. Ruth immediately inquired about the whereabouts of the diamonds, but Jack hadn't found them. But time was running out. They had to find the diamonds before the experts arrived. Jack had to ask John to join him. He took a rock and smashed the door open. There was a safe hidden inside, but it needed fingerprints to open it. Ruth got a knife and cut off one of the senator's fingers. She cut off one of the congressman's fingers, but the authentication failed. Then a second and a third. She cut off all the fingers on her right hand. They all failed. Did the congressman use his left hand? Then he started cutting off the fingers on his left hand until the last of the 10 fingers was left. Jack was just about to use it to verify. There was a dog barking outside in order to avoid being discovered, so he went out to meet the expert. What they didn't expect was, when the expert saw the congressman, he suddenly burst into tears. I realized that the senator was not only a plutocrat. The senator is not only a plutocrat, he's also a member of the church. The expert received help from him when he was in trouble. That's why he was so sad. Then he told us what happened back then. then, there's a secret case involved. In order to create a fake death, he used someone else's body to fake his death. Jack asked who the body belonged to. After a detailed description, Jack was shocked to realize that the body was his mother. By now, he was beginning to feel uneasy. The expert went on to say that he had been commissioned by a wealthy woman to fake her boyfriend's suicide. He thought it was an accident caused by a lover's quarrel, but it turned out not to be. Instead, a small business owner was cheated by a woman. He killed her for money. In all of this, the woman with the money was Ruth. The business owner is John's father. The atmosphere was instantly murderous, and then Jack made his move to avenge his mother's death. Unexpectedly, Ruth grabbed a wine glass and hit Jack with it, but it gave the expert a chance. He was pushed to the ground. The specialist beat him severely. Then he pulled out his scalpel. He was going to take care of Jack first, but then Ruth took advantage of the situation. Ruth grabbed a stone and killed the expert. He was after the diamonds. The severed finger was on Jack's body. In order to get him, the two of them started killing each other.
개개운동의 힘이다. 너 죽고 사직자인 거냐?
And when they were all down, John packed up and left, and then he ran into Will. He stabbed him right in the face. John passed out. Will used his broken finger to open the safe, but before he could see the diamonds inside, the congressman suddenly appeared. With a scream, Will was dead. John woke up from his coma and realized he wasn't dead. In fact, after being bitten by the senator, he's now a vampire. Doe.